Hello everyone, my name is FlareBlitzed and welcome back to Monochrome Valentine. My walk back to Selena's place felt longer than before. Maybe it was because I was carrying something heavy on my mind. And my arms. Shopping. Guess lots of people are having relationship troubles. Everywhere in the world. Right now. At this very moment. There's always some sort of mishap between two people. Which are very close, by the way. When I got back, I saw that a truck had been moved. In addition, I didn't see Selena anywhere. Guess she must have gone inside, waiting to watch that series. I stepped through the threshold expecting her to greet me with a joke or relief I'd seen the snacks. But that didn't happen. Weird. Did she step out? No, then why'd she leave the door unlocked? The door to her bedroom was cracked open and inside I could hear sobbing. Something going on. The sound I heard was something I didn't expect though. I heard the unmistakable sound of sobbing. What? What's going on here? What could this possibly be? How could one do this honestly? Upset, I carefully peeked into the crack in the door, and just out of the corner I could see Selena sitting against the wall, holding something in her arms and crying? From this angle I couldn't see, and while I was curious, yeah definitely, I didn't know if I should intrude on the scene. The thought of what the mysterious man said flashed in my mind. Was I making the same choice as he did? Was it right to leave her in this state? What should I do? What should I say? On the floor I saw the notepad and pen, and an idea came to me. I don't know if it was a good idea or not, but it was the best I had at the moment. You can make like a paper airplane with a message in it. Is it going to be the case? This was such an unusual idea and I didn't know if it was going to work. What I ended up doing was make a note and slide it under the door. Okay, so a bit more discreet. The first note. I won't leave you unless you want me to. The second note. You've been a good person to me and I want to return the favour to you. Third note. I've never been good at this sort of thing and I don't know any phrase that can make you feel better, but I'll be here, so you don't have to be alone. You could sign off like the person who's writing this, and like that I just waited. Sitting with my back to the wall, I could hear her shuffling behind the door and sniffling though she tried to suppress it. Something she said earlier rang in my ear. Sometimes you should have to trust your instincts. And that's what we did. We trust our instincts, and just wrote that. Just trust my instincts. I scooted over and without looking I stuck my hand inside the room. Just my hand though. At first nothing happened. I thought that this was stupid and cringy. Maybe I'm making things worse? But to my surprise, I felt a hand gently grip my own. Even though I couldn't see her, even though she was trying to be as quiet as possible, her grip told me everything. I thought about saying something, but that would just ruin the moment. Something about this felt familiar. Like I remember hearing about something going down in the classroom next door, so in the past. And a girl had bumped into me while running away from the scene. Rumours spread quickly, like wildfires. Spread quickly, something along those lines. Rumours that she was in a fight, that she'd been accused of cheating, that she'd finally snapped due to bullying, that she'd had an affair with a teacher's son, all kinds of stuff. It's always those that get bullied are the ones who gets in trouble, because it's never the bully that gets in trouble, it's the person who retaliates that gets in trouble. And that's really bad. Later that day I got strong-armed into taking over clean-up duty for a classmate. Said he had a hot date. That I never had anything to do, so I should just handle the cleaning duties for today. Jackass. You're only in middle school. Your hot date is just going to Wickwannell de Quindy's for an after-school meal. Still, who was I to disagree? My nature has always been a passive one. Should I just did what I was told? Because what was the point of raising a fuss? But he wanted to go do it, and someone had to. Might as well be a foreigner who barely spoke the language and had no friends. Regardless if you're a foreigner or not, you have every right to make friends. When I was taking out the trash, I remember hearing someone crying beneath the stairwell. I remember trying to look and someone shouting back in English not to look at them. My first instinct, like always, was to remain passive. Just ignore it and walk away. Go about my business. It doesn't concern me. Not this time. I tapped the side of the stairwell with my palm and reached my hand down over the railing, being very careful to not look at them, like they wanted. It seemed stupid at the time. It was just something that I read in a manga. Things you read in manga, anime, games, they're not necessarily the truth all of the time. And what you hear in real life isn't the truth at all times. To my surprise, then, just like back then, a person I couldn't see gripped my hand. A person who held back a wave of sorrow beneath the mask of a happy girl. I wish I could say that we started a nice friendship there. That this is where we got to know each other and share in our hardships. But that's not the way the story ends. It was much harsher and darker. I always think there was a fire going on because of all the smoke. The teacher at the top of the stairs happened to pass by, thought I was shrieking my cleanup duties. And so, my nature being what it was, I let go and left them there. Even as the teacher reprimanded me on the way back to the classroom, the only thought on my mind was the guilt of leaving her in that state. I always wondered if she felt a moment of peace, or if I had just made things worse. I think the former. I always intended to talk to her about it, to apologise for not doing more. But by the next day, this girl with endless positivity was back to her normal self and just as unapproachable by someone like me as before. We lived in two separate worlds. That was just the reality of it. So I left the memory as it was. Just a memory. If you say so. So that was how I knew her. She squeezed my hand, and I squeezed back, to let her know that I was still here, and I wasn't going anywhere this time, because no one's going to reprimand me. Chapter 4 stay. Okay. 8 minutes into this recording, we're now in the 4th chapter. My arm was getting tired. This was cute and wholesome for a while, but now I think my arm is going to be stuck in this position. I really should have, my mind was already trying to think of a way to still emphasize I was still here, but that my arm was about to fall off. You can always switch hands. Arms. Hey you! There's an alien in here. Who's holding people's hands? Don't worry, I'll rescue you. She lets go of my hand, though What's going on now? But I can't tell if it's because her arm was getting tired or if she sensed that mine were. Although it's equally possible that she just got embarrassed when she realised how long she'd been holding my hand. So, do you have the snacks? Alright, yeah, here. I've got your change too. Oh, you can keep that. As a bribe? Took you a little while to get back, huh? Oh yeah, you wouldn't believe what happened, so I got there and one story later. Hey, yeah? You should probably cut back. Excuse me? Of course she didn't believe me. It's true though. A story that weird? Who knows? Story, alright. Suddenly she poked her head out of the box with a box in hand. Since we're all done packing, I fixed a truck and you brought snacks. Do you want to watch this with me? I mean, you don't have to if you want. I've taken up a lot of your time already, so I'll do it. Really? You know you don't have to force yourself to. Trust me, I've got plenty of time. In fact, I was fired from my previous job, so... No, wait, did we leave on our own accord or did we get fired? Because they're two different things. One of them is somebody else's choice and the other one is our own choice. Trust me, I've got plenty of time. In fact, all the time in the world for a past childhood friend. Promise? promise. Great! Her mood seemed to have perked up. I'm glad she's cuter when she's happy. Nice. Cuter? Is that a weird sentence? No, is that a weird word, cuter? Let me just go set everything up. Trust me, you're gonna love this series. Well, whatever. I'm happy to have been of use. Of the vampires and boxers. As Selena described it, what a weird combination. But I imagine anime and manga, there are even more weird combinations. Like being reincarnated as a swimming pool, for example. It's the story about a human boxer down his luck, who ends up renting out the spare room to a vampire girl. Okay. The narrative follows with various supernatural misadventures ranging from getting into a boxing match with a werewolf, trying to throw the scent of a vampire hunter. Okay. Meeting her adoptive vampire I don't know how to pronounce that word. Progenitor. And then, one deleted episode concept involved going back in time to the age of Vikings and fight against Viking raiders, which create its own spin-off. It's apparently highly rated due to its expertly handled character development, story and art direction. But tragically it suffered from seasonal rot after the network heads kicked out the original creator team and started trying to chase trends and social movements. Thank you very much to lots of other particular games that have no longer become niche but try to diversify their genres in their game and then from there ruin the franchise in itself. Atlia, for example, used to be a very great series before it was consumed by Fire lovers from Thighs. While there were good episodes in that era, most of the fandom considered it to be non-canon because it deviated so far from the original version. Yeah, this is the original version and this is the deviated version. Then it had a revival when the original creator came back from a long sabbatical, who managed to reacquire the license from the network, who were trying to release a bunch of unnecessary horrible spin-offs. The original creator then started a Kickstarter to recreate the series, better than it ever was, and do it properly this time. It's like with Metroid games actually. The original fourth game was scrapped because the original developers somehow managed to get back on it. That's what Selena says at least. Short version is a story about a human boy and a vampire girl sharing an apartment. Hijinks ensue. Alright, snacks are ready. We'll first watch the original version, because you can't appreciate the remake without seeing the original. So we're watching the same show twice? The whole thing? We've got plenty of time. I mean, I guess, but the size of that complete box set just radiated intimidation. Do we also have time to watch the spin-offs? Do you normally start a story and skip chapters, Blake? These are some great snacks. Yep, great sidetracking there, mate. Lovely. And watching the night sky, watching the crows fly by. So that was the first episode. Seemed a bit rough around the edges, but trust me, it gets way better. The guy who keeps wetting himself in episode 1, well, guess what? In episode 420, he is a massive, bulky superhero who has lost his childhood ways. Minus the memories. Also, I didn't expect the fight scene at the end to be so cool. Come to think of it, Selena's been pretty quiet for a while. Wonder if she's okay. It was even better than I remembered. She's sobbing. She began the process of learning the true meaning of friendship. Next episode. Okay. According to Selena, after the end of season 1, the network executives pushed the original showrunner out of the picture to exert more creative control over the franchise. But guess what? Let's see how that ended up. Over the years, everyone who originally worked on the show would be replaced. Midway through Season 2, even I could tell how different the writing was. For a few episodes leading to the end of Season 2, they changed the writing format to an 11-minute format, which was better suited to slapstick comedy shows rather than the deep emotional drama that was this show. Exactly. If you want something with deep story, deep drama, you need to have something along the lines of 30 minutes or more. I didn't know what any of that meant, but that's what Selena said. Either way, the show was going downhill. God damn it, and so they just gonna end like that? Yep. But what about... Doesn't matter. What happened to the count? Resolved off screen. Thanks. And what about Christian... I guess she died. What kind of blank kind of end? What a blank kind of ending was that? I know, right? Social media blasted them for years. It's still going on now. Had such a great start too. But the network was way more concerned with merchandising than quality. It should be the other way around. The quality over the quantity. It's the quality over the money. Such squandered potential. Exactly. Fortunately, that's what the remake solves. Alright, let's start watching immediately. And Selena quickly reaches over to the remake's box set, and I can practically feel the excitement in the air as we get ready to watch the next. Suddenly the power went out. Wow. What happened? Are we dead? Did we die? Blake, are you there? Yes, sorry, I'm right here. I think the sudden darkness just made me slip. And the hearing of the rumbling of thunder. Well, keep talking. Let me help you up. Okay, I'm right over here. That's very generic. Crash. Crash wallop. I know you had a heart attack. Are you okay? I'm good, but listen. When did it start raining? I don't remember the weather app mentioning... Alright, phone's still dead. Maybe I should have charged the phone while the power was up. Indeed. That reminds me, we've been binging this series all day, but how are you gonna get home in the storm? That is an excellent question. In the chapter of Stay, we stay put. At this time of night, would there be a drover around? What's one of those? It's coming down pretty hard. You might catch a cold if you go out there. Probably too expensive. If you want, you could stay here for the night. I don't live that far, I could just walk it. I think you're a trustworthy person, so I don't really mind. And risk being stabbed in the face? Forget it. Blake, are you there? Maybe there's a... Blake Lawrence! Present? I instinctively reacted as if I was in a classroom. I hadn't done that in so long, so I just moved on autopilot. I mean, yes. I was saying if you want, you could stay the night. You know, it's kind of embarrassing for me too. So can you say... Can you please say something? Blake? Blake, did you just seriously gonna faint? The scene seems taller than I remember. Alright, I'm laying down in a sleeping bag. Wait, when are we getting a sleeping bag? Would you like to stay the night? It definitely didn't happen like that. Were my cheeks red? I felt like they were red. Calm down, this isn't that kind of situation. It's just a friend. It's a kind gesture to a friend that you recently met. Exactly. Don't overthink it, damn it. Blake, are you awake? Yeah, still awake. Okay. Her voice sounded different. Before she was like, how do I describe it? A ball of positive energy that could power the gloomiest of cities for years. Now she seemed uncharacteristically shy. Well, I'm just going to scoot in next to you. There we go, nice and comfy. I can't see her, but my back is turned to the side. I can't look at her because I feel like I really shouldn't. Things are getting pretty awkward. Say something, dumbass. So, did you ever see something like this happening when the memento I threw away accidentally landed on your head? No? Ah, yeah, me neither. Sorry about that. By the way, I don't know if I apologize for that, but it just kind of slipped out of my hand and sort of veered off course like it was I stopped myself before saying something supremely creepy. Like it was fate. Who says that outside of Shoujo manga? I don't know, because I've never read it. It's okay. Her voice is so quiet, I almost missed it. The truth is, I didn't think I was gonna go home today. Yeah? I was just taking a walk to clear my head of everything. So much of my life was changing. So many things that I'd dream of when were falling apart, and I felt lost. It's just that I sacrificed so much, tried so hard, did everything right, or at least I thought I was doing everything right. But I guess it wasn't enough. A person can do everything right and still fail. At one point, my mind went to some dark places. I kept thinking about what the point of everything was, and if the hole in my heart would ever close. Then a small object hit me in the back of my head, sort of snapped me back to reality. Is that weird? I think it sounds pretty weird. I expected to see some jerk tossing garbage or something, and instead I saw you. Someone who looked like he was in pain too. The same kind of pain as me. I don't even know who's talking. I don't know what I was expecting today. Certainly not this. I know it's like the character, but who is talking? But maybe it's the protagonist. I've been told I'm a sort of look before you leap person. And now look at me. I'm sleeping next to a total stranger in my empty apartment. Ah, so it must be Selena then, with the power out. I mean, this is crazy, isn't it? What if you're like a scammer or a murderer? I just invited you into my house at my most vulnerable moment, and now I'm whining about my life. What's wrong with me? With the edge of my palm, I tap hers. I'm not good at words at all. I work with computers, systems, datasets, databases. These are things that make sense to me. I don't really know what to say to help her, so I do anything I can. She takes the key and softly interlocks her fingers with mine. We stay in complete silence for a while, neither of us needing to exchange any words. Just a simple gesture was enough. Was she asleep by now? Has she calmed down a little bit? Did I mess up? My mum was spinning again. I heard her shift her body in the sleeping bag next to mine, and I could feel her eyes on my back. Blake, are you awake? I hesitate to answer. Do you? Did I seriously read that correctly? We've only known each other for a day and yet you're saying that? Jeez Wheeze. I wouldn't mind if you want to. Blake, look at me please. Okay. You're very pretty. Thanks. Then do you... I don't know. Eh? The truth is, I don't dislike the idea. But you're unsure if we should cross that line. Yeah, a lot of things could change if we do. Is it me? Do I really not have any appeal? You have a huge amount of appeal. But this is our first day of knowing one another. Of course you do. You're super cute that any guy would love to spend even an hour in your presence. Just to talk about the weather. You're the type of girl who'd look at a sad loser like me and do your best to cheer him up even when she's feeling like her world is coming down around her. Before yourself, you put me and my feelings ahead. You don't even know me. It's just that, in our current mental states, I'm unsure if we should do that. It's not that I don't want to, take my word for it, I really do. I just... give me a minute to think about things. Okay. Another minute or two passes as we just stare at each other illuminated by the small specks of moonlight peeking through the rain clouds. Blake? Yeah? Have you thought about it yet? Maybe. Can I come close to you then? And? Did it happen? Did they do it? Goodbye? No! The worst kind of chapter! I think most people might feel a little awkward after the events of last night. Not Selena though. She woke up before me and was back to her usual energetic self. You'd think last night was just a dream, but I could still feel the warmth of her hand in mine. And... You okay? Right, sorry, just thinking about stuff. Heh, alright. I was just saying that I think we're at the end of the line. Heh, we had fun together, didn't we? Yeah. Are you sad? Yeah, me too. Aww. Me too. Guess we were having so much fun together that we forgot that this couldn't last forever. Eventually we'd have to split. Much as I wish we could spend more time together, your phone's still not working. Yeah, I guess I forgot to charge it. Hold on. After fumbling in her pockets for a bit, she hands me a business card with a very fancy design. It stands in stark contrast to mine, which seems like I just used a default template. Wish I brought some with me. Sorry, I didn't bring any of my own. It's fine, I mean, who still uses business cards, right? You do, Selena. Obviously the same girl who used an actual camera instead of one on her phone, apparently. With a brief laugh. And though we both knew it was time to part, neither of us were willing to take the final step. So where will you go now? Well, I'm probably going to take this truck and move back in with my parents for a while. But I'll probably take the scenic route. What's the point of this truck if I can't drive it anywhere cool, right? What about you? What are your plans? That's a good question. I guess I don't really think about it. I asked her to take me to the station, but truthfully, I'm not so sure. What do I want? I guess for now, I'll probably do the same thing. My parents' place isn't too far. Just gotta get on the train, then take a few bus stops. Not like I can go back to my old place, so I'll hunker down there until I can come up with a solid plan. Maybe find a new job. My savings won't last forever after all. Yeah, she looks away from me. Yeah, she says it again. Was she disappointed? Did I do something wrong? Before I could ask, she unlocks the door, continuing to look away from me. Without saying a word, I carefully exit the truck and walk around to her window, where she avoids eye contact with me. However, the look on her face told me that she was disappointed with something. With what? I'm not sure. Hope it wasn't last night. Well, guess this is it then. I'll promise I'll call you just as soon as my phone charges. She sticks her hand out of the driver's side window, her pinky outstretched. Promise? Of course, we don't really have to. Promise me! She wasn't gonna let me go without a definite answer, I suppose. I hooked my pinky with hers, immediately feeling a little embarrassed since we both seemed far too old for this. You're never too old to have a pinky promise. I promise that I'll call you as soon as I can. Okay. She took a deep breath, inhaled, and then screamed into her palms. Whew, okay, I feel better now. She looked at me and smiled her trademark smile. Alright, I'm gonna go grab a bagel down the street right there. Well, take care, Blake. We are but two ships passing in the night, and I hope we pass again soon. Hopefully there's no icebergs on the way. Do you just come up with that? No, of course not. I stole it from a tagline for tea. How is that a tagline for tea exactly? What brand is that? And with that, pressed her foot to the pedal and drove off. Ah, there's that feeling again. Regret. Should I have gone with her? It could have been fun. Yeah, well, too late now. Maybe in another life. Maybe in another timeline. The red line train will be... Sorry. The red line train will be arriving in 5 minutes. At least, that's what the screen predicted. The trains were always just a little off from the predicted time. Usually it's the right side, not the left side. But it's better to be on time or late rather than early. Otherwise that's a bit unreliable. Strange, I still feel regret. Was this the right decision? It's not like we had any multiple choices or anything like that. It's linear. It's kinetic. Well, whether it's right or wrong, it's too late now. From the top of the stairs leading down to the platform where I was, a group of people started descending. Guess they didn't want to risk missing the train either. That's funny. In that crowd there, peering down at their phone. That person looks a lot like Ashley. They stopped when they noticed something in my direction and seemed to be stomping closer. Blake? They called my name. Blake! This person is suspiciously like Ashley marched all the way up to me and put her hands on my shoulders, forcing me to look at her. Yeah, this is definitely Ashley. Oh, hey. Definitely didn't know what to say to her. What do I do? But it was like my heart just did a double backflip and not in a good way. Do not, oh hey, me. You just randomly disappeared. I know that we're not... She trailed off as if the words were stuck in her throat and refused to manifest. To be fair, the feeling was mutual. There was a strong urge to run, to flee, to avoid the issue. No, I can't run from this. If I do not face this, then it's not fair to her either. I'm sorry. Don't mind it. Now where's your phone? Oh, it's been dead for a while, but that's not what I meant. Eh? What would she want to hear? I don't know. What do I want to say then? I'm sorry I couldn't see how much you were suffering alone. I'm sorry if I made you feel like you couldn't talk to me about what you were going through. I'm sorry if I couldn't be the person you needed most. If I could, I'd go back, try to be a better man to you, listen to you, pay attention to your needs. I wouldn't have strung you along for so long just because Why are you telling me this now? What are you trying to accomplish here? To absolve yourself? You overly sentimental fool? She pressed her forehead to my chest. It's fine. What's done is done, and that's just the way things turned out. As much as I wish things could go back to how they were before, that's just not an option here. Her voice cracked as she wrapped her arms around my back. Why? I never wanted things to get this bad. My time with you was special to me, even if things did end up the way they did. You're not a bad person. I don't hate you. Your actions made me cry more than once, yes. But it doesn't mean I want you to just disappear from my life. Oh, so just as friends. Stop apologizing. That curtain has fallen on that part of our life, so now it's time to go on. So, go on to another act. Yeah, I don't want to leave things like this. I want to do at least one thing for you. To take even a tiny part of the pain I caused you to go away. Then, can I stay like this just for a little bit? Will that be okay with you? You can stay there for as long as you need. Thank you. You're too good for someone like me. I wish things could be different. I know. Stop apologizing! I'm sorry too. Stop apologizing! We just remain as friends. I'm going to leave this city, try to start over. No. A part of me would like that, but I've never been a fan of rereading an old story. We can't be together like we were, and it's for the best if we find our own paths. I know that, though I do wish you could come with me. That's just not an option available to us. I'm sorry. Of course, there's always just one person making the decision after the decision after the decision for the both of us. There's no mutual ground. It's always about what Ashley wants and not what both of them want. I care for you. That's why I feel that you should find your own way. As she let go just as the train was coming in, she didn't let me see her face as she started walking towards the door. Maybe in another life things could have been different. I would hope so. Until then, do me 2 small kindnesses. First, when you think of me in the future, please let it be a happy memory. Really. Secondly, find a place where you belong. Don't let the chains of the past hold you back. Okay, that one I can get behind. She plants a small peck on my lips and then backs away. Take care, Blake and Lawrence. If I see you again someday, I would hope that we're both living happier lives than before. The train doors close as Ashley steps in. She presses her hand against the glass, and we watch each other leave in more ways than one. In my heart I feel a pain of regret, and part of me wishes I would have just got on that train with her. Okay, just like you did with Selena for that truck scene. But she was right. It is better if we go our separate ways. I just wish her the best of luck in finding what it is she's looking for. I don't know why, but this manga format style is really haphazard in my ability to read. Her last request ring in my mind as I'm leaned against a pillar on the platform. Find a place where I belong. Instantly my mind flashed to Selena. Why am I thinking of her right now? Don't tell me. No, of course not, it's too soon. That'll just be a rebound, right? Rebounds aren't good for anyone, right? Besides, it's only been a day. Just get on the next train, go to my parents, find a new job, and forget this impulsively crazy feeling. Damn it, screw it all. If Selena were in my shoes, she'd just go for it regardless of the social rules. Just trust my instincts, right? Well, my instincts were basically screaming, what are you doing here, you colossal moron? Go after her. This is basically a rom-com movie moment. Perfectly set up for you, is what they're saying. Inhale. Exhale. God damn it. As if a starter gun had been fired into the air, I leaped into action, thinking to myself I could catch up to her. She couldn't have gone that far, right? What's a little bit of running anyways? God damn it, I hate running. Years of sitting behind a desk has not been great on my physical fitness. I haven't been running that long. Why am I so out of breath? The moving truck's not here. Damn it, did I run this way for nothing? Maybe someone knows something inside. You know what, doesn't matter how far away they are, it's not impossible to catch them. The end to Lily's route in Katara Sojo showed you that it could be at the very, very, very last moment before your consciousness fades that you get their attention somehow. Hello, welcome to... No time, wait. Do I know you from somewhere? Listen, did a woman driving a moving truck just come in here to buy some bagels? Girl roughly your height? Yes. Wearing a hat? Yep. Has a demeanour that can only be described as brighter than the white hot intensity of a thousand suns. You're being too descriptive here. Yes, that's her. Was she here? Oh yeah, she was just here. Ate a few bagels by that table right over there. Seems kind of like comfort food if you ask me. Which way should go, please? Huh? Oh right there. He points down the street to the west. Right down Marlborough Street. She took her truck and went down that direction. If you hurry, you might be able to catch her. Okay, thanks. My body was already anticipating the physical toll I was about to exert on it, but I didn't care. I bulged out the door like a bat out of hell. Hey, don't you want to buy some bagels? There's a special going on. I can't go for the bagels, you know, giving the edge to keep on running. Okay, he said go down Marlborough Street, right? I had just about broken into a sprint, putting that bagel shop past me when I spotted a familiar sight in the parking lot behind the bagel shop. That's the moving truck right there. Oh, thank merciful God, whoever that may be, it's just right there. I may turn around and make a beeline for the truck, just trying to push my legs a bit further. By the time I got to the truck, my legs were like putty. My heart was beating faster than a hummingbird's wings, and they flap really fast. I braced my hand against the side of the truck as I took a few moments to breathe. Selena! I choked out, but there was no one there. I looked through the window, but she wasn't there either. But in the window I saw the driver's side door open, so I slowly walked around the edge, and around the corner I peered Selena lean against the truck toolbox by her leg, looking sullen. Selena? She twitched and slowly looked in my general direction. Her gaze remained fixed on me, as if I was some kind of illusion that vanished if she blinked. Blake? Yeah, that's me. Hey, sorry, I'm just a bit, oh gosh, exhausted. I slipped, but instead of hitting pavement, I landed in Selena's embrace. Oh my, ah, you're really here? Yep, I'm really here. No, I mean, why are you here? Weren't you going to go to your parents' place? Yeah, I was. Things sort of changed though. Like what? Well, the thing is... Sheesh, why was I here? Why are you here, wait a minute. Hiding the text just suddenly goes blank, damn it. Why was I here? Why were we here? I'm just operating on emotions and instinct. I can't really put this into coherent words. At least none of that don't really sound creepy. Oh, hey Selena. I just realised I want to spend more time with you and didn't want to part because my ex helped me receive some courage and told me to find a place I belong, and I think that place is with you. Come on, brain. It's been like a day. Just give me some time to at least untangle my emotions. Crap, was I saying again? Say something so it seems like you're paying attention. We still haven't finished watching the remakes of the Vampires and Boxers, huh? While I was curious about how the remake would handle the flawed masterpiece episode where the boxer shows up to save Vampire from a rival vampire and uses the power of friendship to beat the bloody hell out of someone he should have no chance against, the fight choreography in the episode was cinematic genius. The way they worked around the budgetary limitations, right? And I cleared my throat, well, more like coughed it out. And also because traveling with you sounded kind of cool. Plus we're going in the same direction, so it'd probably be more interesting to travel together than to take separate transportation or something. So I think I'm babbling. She shut me up with a kiss. What? Is that butterflies? I feel butterflies. Wait, no. Come back. Don't put away yet. Sorry. But you know, follow my instincts and stuff like that. I quickly plant a kiss on her cheek in return. Yeah, same. She goes bright red. We can't see any of the colour though. But we can see the hue changing, or the lightness changing her cheeks. She goes bright red and tries to hide her face on my shoulder. You know, this is probably just a rebound thing. Pretty likely. We might get hurt later. Maybe. I'm probably sure everyone in the world would say this is a bad idea. Yeah, well, everyone in the world can go to... Wow. Blake, you're such a... I don't even know. You might end up hating me. I can be a little hard to deal with. Well, I don't hate you I don't hate you now, so... Let's just see how far we can take this and hope that if we do split up later, we have more good memories than bad ones. But I think not thinking about things kind of got me into a bad place to begin with, so how about we just take things nice and slow, see where they take us, okay? Okay, yeah, that sounds nice. I can do that. Good, good. So, you gonna let me up, or... No, 10 more minutes. Why 10? Now it's 20. We're probably gonna get kicked out of the parking lot. 40. I'd say shut up, man. This girl, she could be cute, childish, stubborn, impulsive, kind, emotional, and an endless source of positivity. She's got a lot of strengths and flaws, but somehow, I think spending time with her will be anything but boring. Monochrome Valentine. A submission to Valentine. That's it? That's the game? Wait a minute, it wasn't even a goodbye then, it was just a temporary reprieve. A submission to Valentine Games Jam 2021, made in Wimpy Visual Novel Engine. This is the main developer of the game. First story concept, outline, CG assistant, programming, comic style speech, proofreading, some speech bubble, background arc. Thank you for playing. Aww. That is what you would call, folks, the credits. And that is where the curtain unveils. And the conclusion to this Valentine is here. It's eerily spooky with a lack of music. Like, some music can make it spooky because of the theme of it. This is spooky because of a lack of sound. Anyways, folks, that's enough about me rambling. I think this is a pretty nice little short tale between these two people. I think the man that we met at the convenience store was the man that Selena broke up with, because it just seemed too close of a timing to be otherwise, because he recently broke up with somebody, and Selena in some ways I feel recently broke up with someone as well, and the timing of that was just too impeccable, too suspicious to not be true. And it just somehow seems to be that the meeting of these two, where they were, was some kind of fate. If it wasn't for throwing that memento away that Ashley got for Blake, then Blake and Selena would never have met. So that was really nice. A really nice tale in a monochrome scenario. Thank you so much for watching, guys. This has been Monochrome Valentine, and we shall see each other's in the next video, whichever game it may be, whatever time you watch it at, etc. Thank you so much for watching, and take care of yourselves.